Right. Hello, hello. Good morning. It is Terra Queen Jamila. Happy Friday to you guys. So I am in no way here to um I am in no way here to speak Magdalene. I'm not here to speak about them, but I do want to speak about the Bible and the hell that it brought into women's lives. Okay, give me a second. All right. So, um, where do I even begin with this? I don't think that it is a coincidence that women were so heavily violated and disrespected in the Bible. I think that the reason, because of the Bible, I think even though people don't really know where the origin of their behavior comes from, but I truly believe that the reason why we have so much disrespect of the woman still to this day is because of the Bible. Now, I believe that we existed for billions of years prior to the Bible. And I think that we actually lived in peace and harmony prior to when this book was published. Okay. And I think that when women were able to read the Bible and to actually see what it says in there and these so called commandments and rules that were set by this so called God, do I consider Jesus Christ to be God? He's a God, just like there's many. I am a polytheist. Okay. So even though I do work with Jesus sometimes, I'm not a Christian. Okay. I have Christian roots in my bloodline, but that doesn't make who I am today and for the rest of my life. Okay. Um, when you read the Bible as a woman, it is absolutely the most harsh and horrifying things that you can find in there about maybe how God, this so-called God of the Bible, condones rape, condones murder, condones the eating of children, condones a lot of different things. And so you have to ask yourself, whose God was that? Was that like the reptilian God or something? Because a lot of people have their own ideas about reptilians, but was it a God that actually loved and cared about us, or was it something else? I believe that it was a ploy. Okay. I believe that it was a ploy. Hello and good morning, Reggie Hammond. Hello. So, all throughout the Bible, all you hear, all you feel is hatred for women. And this is something that's playing out in society right now. Guys, I'm not even lying to you. I see gay rappers and gay rappers. I don't know why it always comes to rap music. It's manifested these, men that hate women, that totally think that women are here to be violated and disrespected. And this is what has happened to society because of the Bible. And when you think about it, you can play victim and you can say, oh, well, the women that they were talking about in the Bible were black women. Or it's just women, period. It really don't have anything to do with race. However, I do feel as though there have been so many people that have been heavily oppressed. Okay. Because I had somebody tell me that I just didn't understand the Bible and what it was saying about rape and condoning rape and forcing a woman to marry her rapist and things of that nature. Somebody came to me and said, well, you just have to be in the Holy Spirit. And so I was thinking to myself before I started this, well, what is the Holy Spirit? Is the Holy Spirit oppression? Is the Holy Spirit oppression? I mean, what is it? Let me tell you something. With disrespect comes everything else. Judgment, all of those things behind it come with it. And I noticed that men have used this Bible as an excuse to make mistakes, to create problems, and then blame it all on the woman. It's a very dark day for women, the day that that Bible was written. Because basically, what it says is that you have the right to judge women, which you don't. Okay, I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. These are my spiritual beliefs. I believe that God is a woman. I don't believe that the true living God is a man. I believe a man can be a God, but I believe that God was a woman. Why? Because women have children. So, what men have done in society is they have decided to totally pervert our whole existence by downing and degrading women with children. It is the most disgusting but obvious thing that is going on. And men that do this, I don't even think they're even in control of their own behavior. I really don't. I think that men that do that are totally riding on their subconscious. They feel as though because you are a woman, you are beneath them and you should stay there. And that's just not what it is. Hey, Erzuli, hello. Hit that thumbs up, by the way, guys, when y'all come in. I just don't agree with that. I will never in any way, shape, or form uphold any of the covenants of that Bible like that. Not when it comes to women. And I see so called women, which I suspect are men, not even going to lie to you. I think just like in Hollywood, it's the same thing on YouTube to where they oppress women. They oppress women with children unless they're married. So it's the same difference. You face judgment, right? And then I kind of lost my train of thought of what I was going to say, but that's okay because I got lots to say here. Okay. So, my whole thing about it is that it was the Bible that ruined the world. Just like any other religion, just like Jehovah's Witnessing, just like any other religion that created the chaos and will try to give you some kind of way out of the chaos, but then it didn't work. Okay. Oppressing women is never going to work. And I'm not saying that, women should walk around butt naked and stuff like that. Nobody's saying that. Nobody's saying that people should not be decent. Nobody is saying that. But when you look at the true nature of the female as depicted as Kali Ma, Kali Ma is off the chain. She's a man eater. That's what she does. If you ever had problem with men, you can call her Kali Ma and Lilith, and she'll get them straight. They will both get them straight. Okay. Because women have been stoned to death, beat to death, raped to death, all under the guise of them being a woman, and then told, go and be on welfare, which is the lowest common denominator. And even if you're not on welfare, men will just say you're on welfare, as if you don't have a hand in creating the things that are in this universe. Now, if I help create the universe, then I should benefit off of it. The Bible was written and it totally took away that power from women. So many women were slaughtered. Back in the day, they didn't even have to have no kind of proof that you was practicing witchcraft. If they thought for a second that you were practicing witchcraft, let alone being out here out in the open. And I love to be out here in the open with my middle finger up to any man that has a problem with it. And I'm willing to take on and challenge any one of them because I know that my spirits permit me. And it's extremely disrespectful. Extremely. It brings me to this movie with Demi Moore in it called The Scarlet Letter. You know, these men were haters, is basically what they were. When you go look at that movie, it's such a beautiful love story between her and the priest. And, you know, they put her in jail because she's pregnant. This is an example of the constant oppression and how it used to be worse. When I see a woman, if I see any woman out here degrading women with children, I throw a hex at them. Well, first of all, you already hexed with ignorance. The reason why is because you are practicing a way of life created by something that hated women. Now, what my spirits is telling me is that it was a very jealous alien type of woman that came to this planet and created that Bible. So the weird part about it is that a woman, a female spirit that was not like the human, this spirit was different than us. She created the Bible. She gave it to men to use against women. And this has been going on for thousands of years, and it's time for us to come out of it. I have been disrespected so much. This is the reason why when men, okay, when men come out in social media, it's a man. When men come out in social media and say, oh, this person is broke and you just a hoe and shut up and go sit down somewhere and be a hoe. That's the reason why I go and I show and I prove what I bring in and what I manifest. Because they think that they have the extra right to do it, especially if you have children, and triple rights to do it, especially if you are Black or Afro. So they tried to put Black women at the bottom of the totem pole, is what they tried to do. Okay. And, you know, I think it's ridiculous. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's something we need to do away with. You know, the reason why men run around here and behave the way they do towards women originally started with the Bible. Oh, I can just talk about you and say whatever you want. You're just a woman. I can rape you. Oh, I can steal your energy and take your energy. You're just a woman. Let me rape you. Because let me tell y'all something. My spirits are very protected. And a lot of you women, honey, as soon as I got up this morning, I was doing rituals. I was calling to my spirits, called to my ancestors, called to my witch's power. And they stepped in and they said, look, and you don't have to be a man hater. I'm not a man hater. I don't even have to be a feminist to even get respect from men. I just choose to stay away from disrespectful men like that, like in social media. Why would I want to be hanging around somebody that's extremely disrespectful to me as well as broke? So this is the reason why a lot of these men out here are upset with me because I'm not all up in their face. And you know, and it's like, well, what? And then they heard the statistics about Black women and decided that all of us were desperate to get married. The media came out with a poll saying that 45% of black women don't get married and people lost their mind. Well, guess what? That 45% of black women are smart. It's very smart to not get married, not under that circumstance. We can do a hand fasting, we can have a celebration, we can have a cake and everything, but I would never, ever go before a judge or a preacher and marry anybody because it's unnecessary and it's something that is set up just to make money, and not even just to make money, but to own you and to steal your energy. So all of those things were created from that. And so there's so many women out there, they'll run around here upset and distraught and feeling bad about themselves because they don't fit into this, I guess, society. Well, guess what? Society doesn't really exist. Not really. Societal standards don't really exist. Okay, when it comes to, you can't walk up to somebody and start beating them up. You can't walk up to somebody and start stabbing them. You can't walk up to somebody and rape them. You can't fart in people's faces in public. Okay, these are things that, okay, this is a given. But we're talking about the actual the actual general attitude towards women. And I have to, it's sad when in 2019, we almost in 2020. It's sad in 2019 when women still have to tell men, look, I am not competing with you. Why do we still even have to do that? Because of the ignorance that men were taught. I see so many ignorant men out there on a day-to-day basis. Well, women should just be our slaves, and do whatever we say. If we say that we want to put a baby in their uterus, then we'll put it in there. If we decide that we want to snatch out the baby as well as their whole uterus, then that's just what we'll do. See, we've got to get these women in check because, they're creating this, and that. But then, as you can see, ever since men took over in power, there's been nothing but war, pollution, and problems. So you guys already know. Y'all already know my stance on men and their so wonderful job that they're doing at so-called running the earth, which they're not actually doing it. Listen, if men actually were in power, this whole earth would be burned up and blown up. It would just be gone. If men were, women have been stepping in, the divine goddess and the mother goddess has been stepping in all these years and fixing the freaking mistakes that men have made. I'm talking about the spiritual mistakes. I'm talking about the spiritual up and down, the general ignorance of it all, that's causing people to be up and down. And we got to make money off of this. And we're going to make money off of that. And okay, if you hit the age of 40, that means that you're going through menopause. So that means that you got to come in and go to the doctor. These are all things that were set up to keep us in a certain frame of mind. All of it was set up. All of it was created by design. And if you stupid enough to fall for it, then you're not going to live no real life. And that's the bottom line. And, I knew that the world was in trouble when I had a bunch of black men chasing me around the internet calling me welfare queen. That is sad. Even though I've never been on welfare, I've always worked, always had good jobs. Now I'm not a college grad, okay? What is this new sick way of life where females consider being a boss is competing with women on how much money they can blow on a man? Urzulia, I have no idea what that is about. I think, I think that this is what I think. I think that if you've got money and you're a woman, you can do whatever you want to do for your man. As long as he's doing for you and you ain't being used and abused. But this is what I want to tell you, Urzuli. It's because people don't know how to mind their own business. That's why. Everybody would do better if they would just mind their own business, quit trying to sneak and snivel and find out stuff, calling people. Hey, have you talked to this person? Oh my God, do you think that she's dating so and so? Do you think that women need to mind their own business? Urzuli, am I lying? Am I flying? Women need to learn how to mind their own business. See, there was a byproduct that was created out of that because so many women were left in an unfulfilled state of being, state of existence. Hit the thumbs up on y'all way in, guys. And that Bible created all of it. This is the reason why I tell people all the time, I ain't got no problem with Jesus or his mama or his real daddy. I have no problem with those people if they existed, right? Because some people arguably would say that Jesus didn't exist. Well, I believe that Jesus existed because I believe that spiritually I was going through the same path as him. But I told Jesus, I said, Jesus, I don't want to go through that path no more. So that's why I got to go to other gods. And Jesus said, fine with me. Do what you got to do, sister. We both sisters in magic because Jesus was a magician. They don't want to hear that. They don't want to admit that that's the reason why they crucified Jesus. It's all BS. And you know what? I don't want to live my life within a Bible story. I want to write my own Bible. I want to write my own life. I don't ever have to live in a world where men think that it's okay for them to just judge you and oh, you a woman and you should have aborted those kids and da 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 da. You know, I believe that back when I was a queen, I beheaded a couple of people. See, this was a long time ago for that Bible kicked in. A lot of y'all other people was a manifestation of that too. A man come up to you talking about, what you got them children for? Oh, those kids is bastards and off with his head. So I still got that spirit in me. And you know what? It ain't nothing wrong with that because if you don't walk with that spirit, women, men will run all over you. They will talk about you. They're out. That's why I put that up. Well, I'm sorry. I earn my business pulls in money every month. So why do I need to feel less about myself? Because you're a woman and you have a vagina. Really? Okay. Now, my whole thing about it is this. I'm not even talking about like men and women on a personal level. I'm talking about the general whole consensus of it, Urzuli. I'm not even talking about men and women in general, like as a couple. Don't make me get all Jody on you. Remember the advice that Jody's mama gave in that movie? I ain't trying to get Jody on you, but my whole thing about it is that men in general need to stop assuming that women are willing to sell their bodies. They're going to have to stop assuming that women are willing to sell their children out. They're going to have to stop assuming that women go by those rules of that Bible because many of us don't, and many of us have the right to not participate in that. So a lot of these men that, especially the real disrespectful ones, discussing your religion is very personal. It is very, very personal. And there's a lot of these men on here that are very religious, but they don't say it. But they don't say it. They'll lie. They'll say, oh, I ain't religious at all. But all you women is just a piece of ass for my taking. You know who made up that Bible? Somebody that was not human enough to get the attention of women. And so they got mad because they never got attention from women besides raping her. You know, the Bible is filled with rapist stories of rape and violation. And many of these people run around here with those same values, which is why they treat each other the way that they do. I don't stand for disrespect from nobody. In fact, we are revamping. No, I don't discuss my personal life in social media. No, I am not rejected. No, it's just not none of your business what I do in my personal life. My personal life is not going to be out there for people to judge. And unfortunately, we have a lot of very disrespectful people, very, very disrespectful people that are out there that feel the need to come for you, to come for women that are in business. So, for me personally, if you're fulfilled enough in your personal life, you don't have to come and try to use. I mean, okay, women use their sexuality all the time. I'm using it right now as I discuss this. But as far as you thinking that I'm on here selling my body or that I'm open to you devouring me or anything like that, you're going to catch these spiritual hands. As soon as men go on the attack, when they start going online blaming women for stuff, you know who you got to invoke, ladies? Lilith. You invoke her energy. You invoke Kali Ma. You invoke other deities, okay, like Oshun and maybe Yemaya, because Yemaya will look at every man as a baby. So Yemaya, she like, we can play this game, but you need these loving arms. Facts. And I'm going to stand in that power, and I'll come and send wind and rain with my girl Oya and Oshun, and we'll just turn this sucker out. Okay, whenever you see a tornado, you seeing a male and a female deity that is throwing down and cracking down. And I'm not saying that men are here just to serve me. I mean, back when I was a queen thousands of years ago, yeah, I had many men serving me, okay, butlers and all that stuff. However, men are here to do what they want to do. Nobody was ever forced into doing anything. Only thing you got to do is make sure that you showing respect. Okay, yeah, men hate her for a reason. You're right about that. Who would you rather date? Would you rather date somebody that walks up to you and says, "Hey, you're a woman and you have to date me and you have to marry me. You have to make love to me because it is your duty." Or do you want to date somebody that walks up to you with flowers, that says, "Hi, how you doing?" give you a hug and gives you general love and respect? Which one would you want? So, all of these weird men that are in social media. By the way, guys, hit the thumbs up to get the positive vibes going. Okay. Other than that, all of these men that are running around here doing that stuff, your energy is blocked and I will curse you. Yeah, they do that, Urzuli. Men always bring me flowers. Yeah, they still do that. Sometimes you got to ask them. And they'll do it. But absolutely, and I'll tell men, look, I need for you to bring me some flowers to make an offering to Aphrodite or Oshun or even Yemaya. I'm sorry, or Lakshmi. So yeah, men still do that. Well, Urzuli, I'm sorry. There are a lot of men out there. You know what? Thank you for bringing up that point. Those are the men that are trash. Throw them in the trash. If you're attracting those kind of men, then you need to do a generational hex remover. Because let me tell you something. Men, I've seen it's been several men out in social media. Oh, look at you, you broke, and you're a woman and you broke. And it's like you're looking at them like, but I got more than you though. And the one thing about me is that I will never be oppressed. I don't care if you a man. There's this other man that dresses up as a woman. Uh, she looks like a woman, but it's actually a man, and it's my biggest stalker. And she's a transgender. Okay. No, honey, I'm not going to hell, hon. Thank you for coming by, though. This person, and you know what? Let me tell you what Christians like that will do. They'll cover up their ears like little children, and and they won't even listen to what you're saying anyway. So, Rider for Christ, if you would have been listening, you would know that nobody's downing the Bible. I'm sorry, nobody's down in Jesus Christ. I was actually down in the Bible. But your energy is not welcome here. So goodbye. You're not God and you can't judge where somebody goes. Thank you. So, I have not tried dating in over a year now and have no interest until I leave here. You mean leave your current location? Well, I mean, every woman has the right to make that choice for herself. Every woman does. If you don't want to date, you don't have to. Just don't sit around too long and waste too much of your life. Ursuli said Jesus was the name of the slave ship. Well, let me tell you something. Yeah, and don't let them do that because that's what they want to do. That means that it got in your spirit if they making your skin crawl. So keep your shield and your armor up because he didn't make my skin crawl. He just sounded, don't let him confuse you. Don't let him confuse you is basically what you got to do. Yeah, the Bible is very barbaric. It was written by a very barbaric society of people that forced those beliefs on people by using violence and mind control. And then here we are to this day with complete idiots that actually don't know anything about spirituality that think that they can come in and judge where you gonna go when you leave this earth. So that's hilarious. I'd say that I'm probably more of a judge of where you gonna go than you. Because if it were left up to you, honey, the judgment is bad. Nothing is actually being ran by Christians or none of these mainstream religions is the truth of the matter. That religion was created for peasants to keep peasants where they belong. Okay, so that's all it is to it. And I think that if Jesus Christ in flesh and blood did exist, unfortunately, he was a victim of that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't blame you. And you'll get there. You'll get there. But it ain't nothing wrong with having a little bit of male energy around. I will tell you that. Okay? It ain't nothing wrong with that. But if that's what's in your spirit right now, then you do what you got to do because I was single by choice for, upwards to about 8 years. I was single by choice. So if you coming into the room, make sure that you hit the thumbs up. If you don't like this discussion, then don't listen. Okay, because I know they over here thumbs and down. So go ahead and make sure you hit the thumbs up because men are trying to control women. You're never going to be able to control, violate, rape, or put women at a disadvantage ever again. Is here, okay? She here. She's here, okay? So if you a man that shoot, I need somebody to take all this anger out on. Oh, look at these women, which makes you anyway, the person that wrote the Bible was definitely a coward. I'm sorry to say that. I know that a lot of people don't want to hear the truth, but it's the reality of it. And, I can already see them starting some crap this weekend, which I'm not going to have nothing to do with. So we're going to have a group ritual coming up on Sunday. I will be posting it on the website. We're going to have a group protection ritual to protect us from these demons that use religion to control us and steal our energy. That sound good to y'all? hmm Yeah, Urzuli. The reason why YouTube oppresses my views as far as like to see them live is because they don't want, it's almost like for show. It's almost like just for a show, just to trick people. Is basically what that is. And they don't want somebody that has my energy that's a real woman, because you'd be surprised at the people on here that get a lot of live viewers, but it's not even a real woman. So women are very heavily hated on YouTube, and people don't even realize that. And I'm extra, extra hated because I'm the queen. Don't nobody like the queen, and I'm good with that. Like people, I noticed that the codependent, weak-minded people that are on here, they always talking about, you don't have no friends. Well, I mean, I don't need to have friends on YouTube. And I do have a couple of people, like I said earlier, that I'm cool with, but I don't have to be all up in their face all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm busy. So it is what it is. And they mad at me because, they said you can't be wealthy and be a witch. You can't have this, and you have to be married, and your husband got to make a bunch of money and all that stuff. And then when I prove them wrong, that's when they get upset with me and they go, who did that? Her spirits. I have very strong and powerful spirits. They will bring you all the way from across this globe to contact me. And then also, they're trying to legalize prostitution everywhere. Because if they make it legal, then it's going to probably also make it legal for people to traffic you. So this is why we have to fight against things like that. And we have to fight against very oppressive, disgusting natured people like that, because, otherwise, as women, we would be forced into servitude. So me being hated is not in vain. A lot of women will, hate on me and look at me in a certain way. But the only reason why you even have your rights and liberties is because of women like me, especially them Christian ones that are delusional. The Christian ones that run around here and say, well, I don't like your religion. Well, if you didn't like first of all, I'm not religious at all. If you didn't like my spiritual beliefs, you wouldn't even have power to get out of bed in the morning. They just have you chained down to the bed, raping you over and over again. So would you rather have that or this? So a lot of women are just ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you see a woman coming for me, it's because she's not in her power. It's because she has no power. And it is because she's upset and she knows that I'm popping. All right. See you later, Urzuli. So that's, what I'm saying about the Bible doesn't mean that a woman can't love a man. I've loved men before. I love a man right now. I've got several men in my life that are, in my, I have my father, I have my children. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say that I'm a man hater. That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is that my success is none of your business. Go somewhere and do you and get up out of my business. That's all I'm saying. Do you and let me do me. And I do what I do and you do what you can do about it. That's my boy Little Wayne said that. I do what I do and you do what you can do about it. But at the end of the day, with the reputation that I have in the spirit realm, we're not even talking about on YouTube. The reputation that I have in the spirit realm, people are going to always come to me and offer me thousands of dollars and pay me what I am worth. Just because I'm running a summer reading special, that don't mean nothing. But I get people that contact me, they like, I'll give you $100 for a reading. So I don't have to come on here and beg anybody for anything ever. And that's something to be proud of. If you feel like it's nothing to be proud of, then maybe me and you are not like-minded. Maybe because, with me, what I do is I demand what I want and I get it. I don't have to come on here and talk bad about nobody or discredit nobody. My spirits is out there bringing new people to me right now as we speak. Because those are my responsibilities. Find yours is what a lot of people need to do. That's why they condemn witches so much and they blocked off, they closed off the connection with the spirit realm for a very, very long time is what they did. Well, the spirit realm opened up and flooded, the gates flooded. Okay, is what ended up happening. So they have no control over the spirit realm anymore. Even though they would like to believe that, they don't. That's not reality. Okay. And, anybody that has anything, let me tell you, some people hate on me because I got it. So I have a reputation in the spirit realm. People bring my people and they people, because what happens is that when you come to me, so whenever you see a fake witch on here, and she's going nuts and trying to prove this and prove that she's a better witch, she's not a witch at all. Because if you're a witch, your spirits, listen, my people is going to talk to your people, and then your people is going to bring you to my people, and then my people is going to look at you, weigh you, and then bring you to me. And it does not take 10 days. It does not take 5 days. It does not take a month. It does not take a year. It takes literally a couple of minutes for that spiritual information to exchange. And that's the way it works. So I don't have to sit here and stress and go, I don't have no money. I know what I can do. I can go and get it popping and talk about Jamila. Man, you weak. And you would never be in my coven. Never. The people that's in my coven, they just literally, a lot of my peeps, they just think about money and it appears for them out of nowhere. And those are clients. Some of my clients are a little bit more lost. Some of them are upset. Some of them, listen, that's the way that it works. So a lot of people will say, well, this person is trying to use you to advertise their business, but that's not the way the spirit realm works. Unless you work with some very weak spirits that's codependent on my spirits. I didn't know there was a such thing as codependent spirits. I guess it is. I don't have codependent spirits because my spirits are connected with the universe. I also work with the angels. So a lot of people, they came out, they said, I'm a spiritualist, but they had no idea. And then especially with this whole Bible situation. What you're seeing is a rebirth of the witches. that were slain and burned at the stake for practicing their constitutionally protected right. Now it's protected by the Constitution. And I'm protected by the Constitution. You can say that you can make up stuff and say, oh, you this and you that. The bottom line is that you just don't like witches. And the reason why you don't like witches is because you're under possession and spells from that Bible. And that's the reason why a lot of you are sick because of that Bible, because you too goody two shoes to go to a witch doctor or a witch or a healer or a practitioner. You know, you seem to think that everything works the way that they told you, but it doesn't. So keep in mind, I got enemies in very, very, very high places. Okay. My enemies ain't just some see, let me tell y'all something. Everybody that beefs with me, let me give y'all a little bit of secret. Everybody that beefs with me in social media, they're just empty seats and robots for the higher up. That's what's so sad about the situation. And they be thinking, I'm doing something. Yeah. You a puppet. You a puppet. And somebody decided to pull your string because they was mad at Jamila because Jamila is back with a vengeance and they can't stand it. But it's time for them to give up the ghost. They laser beams don't work no more. They machines don't work no more. None of that stuff work no more. None of it. It's over. You know, they lost power years ago. In fact, when they lost power, that was when they began to stalk me online. I'm just telling y'all the truth. So I'm a bigger YouTuber than y'all think. We just gonna leave it at that because I like my business. I like having a small business. It's a small business. When I expand, because my spirits are definitely telling me to start expanding into, you know, building my shop. There's a witch that is on here that just opened up her shop, gorgeous and beautiful shop. I was like, whoa, you know, I don't see, you know what? And see, that's how you can tell when your brain has been wired to go through all of those seven deadly sins. It seems like everybody that did not surpass the Bible, because after Revelations, you know, when they said that all that stuff happened and the Jesus and the guy came back and it was the ascension and da 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 da. See, all that stuff is already happening. We're living beyond Revelations. Now, a lot of people have not caught up to that fact. And the people that use that religion that are frauds, because there are some real people out there. Not saying that everybody that practices out of the Bible ain't real. That's not what I'm saying. But when it comes to women, you come over here, you're going to show some respect, and that's all it is to it. I don't care if it's something out in social media that looks like a woman that's not actually a woman, because if it were really a woman, it would have more sense than that. And it wouldn't dare come for me. Because let me tell you something, when I came into my power, they got scared. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But the bottom line about it is that we don't have to live within that Bible realm. And you got these channels that are actual churches. This is somebody's church. And the congregation is always talking about Jamila, Jamila, Jamila. The reason why you keep talking about Jamila, Jamila, Jamila is because I'm a higher power that you cannot reach, because you don't have the sense to humble yourself and show some respect. Because regardless of what you say about me, honey, I done survived about 2,000 to 3,000 people. It's been thousands of people throwing their little negative energy at me. And none of them will ever succeed. Okay? The divine feminine spirit cannot be oppressed anymore. It won't be oppressed. And we don't even give credit to anybody that did. Anybody that discredited me has no credibility at this point. None. Okay? Especially when folks want to be down, like Brandy. I want to be down. I'm not arguing with the sheep. That's what I'm talking to you about. I'm just telling you what it is. I'm just speaking my truth right now. Ain't nobody arguing with no sheep. But you're right about that. You are absolutely right about that. But it ain't that you arguing with them, no. Like, because I had to tell one of them about herself. Nobody's arguing with them, just telling you the truth. What's the argument about? Is this a debate? I am the representation and the embodiment of Lilith through and through. I am the representation and embodiment of Kali Ma. Mm-hmm. Okay. And it's just reality. People like to live in this fake fraud, and they failed when they began to attack witches online. And they don't attack none of the white witches. All y'all good. Why they only attack the black ones? Why is that? Probably got something to do with the Bible and slavery too. But anyway, that stuff ain't even important to me no more. What is important, he was a prophet. Okay. I get it. Well, I thought when he ascended that he became a god, though, because I know that there's a lot of prophets that ascended and became gods too, though, right? Okay, you moving around again. So, life is literally what you make it. I create my own reality. At the end of the day, nobody else creates that for me. I and one of my spirits, she is a really, really pretty black woman. And she came to me this morning and she said, "You need to talk about how people are nosy." I do a ritual that I don't even show to the public, and folks is being nosy about it. Folks respond to my ritual. And the reason why they do that is because they're constantly trying to siphon energy. It's so sad. I couldn't even imagine running around here calling myself a witch, siphoning energy from other people. That just cracks me up every time. Okay, well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say but I believe that it was all metaphorical, you know. But these people, they did it literally. So I don't even allow Bibles in my house. I don't even allow it. And I'll never surrender. I'll never bow down. I'll show respect, but I don't have to surrender any of my power to you. And see, here's the thing though, Arzuli. These fake witches that are actually frauds, they'll try to siphon my energy and I'll take it right back. It's hilarious. And they wonder why they ain't making no money, why ain't nobody contacting them. And then they'll try to say, oh, well, you ain't got that many views. Girl, I can get 2 views. Y'all know when I put up this channel, I think I had like 3 videos put up. Well, 12. I put up a set of 12 videos. I had work in my inbox within 3 days. So this is my calling, okay? You know what, Urzuli? I'll take copies of the Psalms and I'll keep those, but the rest of the Bible I won't keep. So I thought you were supposed to be sending me them Psalms. Send that over to me. I'll print it out. I'll print it out, okay? This Mercury retrograde has been a trip. All of a sudden, my computer started messing up. That's why I'm doing a lot of phone readings. All of a sudden, my printer messed up. I had to buy a new printer. Girl, it's a trip. This Mercury in retrograde is a trip. This is when they use machines to throw things off and to stimulate the economy and stuff like that. Yeah, send me the Psalms, but the rest of it I don't want because I don't want to be, that's a book of spells. Spells against women that are not for women. So that's why I don't keep the Bible, because it's a book of spells. You want to see somebody spiritually possessed to death and to hell? Look at one of them really extremely religious folks. They possessed by demons and don't even know it. That's sad. I be looking at them like, well, why your pastor ain't doing nothing? That was the whole point. Well, like I said, I'll take the Psalms, but not the rest of the Bible. I wouldn't even burn it. When you burn a spell, you're putting it in the air. I wouldn't even burn it. I think when you burn a Bible, that's a mistake too. So I'd rather just not have it in my house. And then we just, then they just, yeah. Clearly, it's not making people feel any better when you think about it. Because if that Bible actually made people feel better, they wouldn't be online stalking and harassing people. You got folks that read the Bible every single day. All it does is bring them anxiety, and they come online and they say, Jamila, why don't you feel the same destructive energy that I feel? Because I'm not stupid. That's why. So I'm good on that. And so a lot of people will say, oh, you from the devil. No. The devil was an entity that was created to punish the wicked. But everything that women did and the stuff that they killed and raped and pillaged us for was not wicked. So I'm sorry, I just don't get down with anti-humanism. The Bible is very anti-human, in my opinion. Dashing kids with rocks. In the real world, nobody has to rape anybody. But since we're living in a fake made up, well, not we're, because I'm not living in that world. There's a lot of people that live in several different, realities. Those are realities I don't live in. Since I'm on YouTube, unfortunately, sometimes you got to step into somebody else's realm, and they'll try to do it. If they a drug addict, they want to make you a drug addict. If they're selling their body, they want to say that you selling your body. If they broke, they want to say that you broke. If they're unsuccessful and it's been unsuccessful, they want to say you're unsuccessful. If they're unhappy, they want to say that you're unhappy. If they feel rejected, they want to say that you've been rejected. It's all a part of knowing people. So I'm a very, very good read on people. And if you haven't tapped into the power to change your life accordingly, then I'm always here to help you do that. And I can tell you that as a woman, you should never, ever, ever let any man have power and control over your mind to make you actually feel that you're just this. Nobody should ever dictate to you who you are or what you are or what you're supposed to have. Not even for a woman, especially not a woman, because we created all of this. All the flowers, all the trees, all of the everything, the bees, the honey, women created that. The female energy created all of the honey that y'all siphon every damn day. As far as the chaos, women didn't create that. A feminine spirit did start it, but men took it and ran with it. And they don't want to go back because they can play out a video game, a big, stupid video game. That's why I don't even, when I be looking at wars and stuff and politics and stuff, I'll be like, good God, will these people ever start living? When I get up in the morning and I can feel this entire fucking universe and this whole world, and the real true and living God just can't stand it. That's why a lot of those people that are caught up in that is miserable. Because God herself will judge you, really and actually, and be sitting up there looking at you like, why don't you just live? Y'all remember in part, I think it was part 2 of the Terminator, when when Arnold Schwarzenegger led the two of them into the cave because they was getting ready to blow up the earth or blow up the world. And John asked her, he said, why? He said, why did he lead us here? And she said, to live. That's why we're here. We're not here to like y'all bringing in all this war and complication. Get off of the planet. Jeez. That's the reason why a lot of people are sick, is because in this realm, we ain't even supposed to be dealing with all of that. And then for it to be a continuation and for folks to just go on and on and on and on and on and on, and you're not ascending. Well, all of those people that have ascended above you, they don't have to look down at you. They don't have to look back at you. They can keep on pushing. People will be like, it's the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? What about Revelations? You know what I'm saying? We're living beyond Revelation. Hello. We're beyond the Bible at this point. I'm not going to have no woman running me, because if a woman run me, boy, they'll just have you in jail for child support. There would be no need for child support if women were running this world. Oh, dope. Let's have a Homer Simpson moment. If things were the way they were supposed to be, with balance and fairness, there would never be any need for child support or jail. So the answer to the world, this is one of the channels where you can find it, but unfortunately, and fortunately for me, because spirits is like, well, this is how you gonna, recop what you need to manifest. We can only do this one person at a time. We can only do it one person at a time. As a collective, it ain't gonna happen like that. And that doesn't mean that you got to become uppity and shun your family and do all of that. Just protect your energy, protect your mind. And I'm one that will continue to do that. So, there's been many men that have came before me and have tried to destroy my essence of a woman, and they ended up destroyed. They ended up getting that karma, and they're still mad about it. But I'm not either broken, or a hoe. So now what? I'm none of those things. So if you guys need to reach me, the link to my website is below. I do provide spiritual consultations and spiritual counseling, especially for those of you that have been heavily oppressed, whether or not it's spiritually, as well as in the workforce, as well as in any facet of your life. Okay. And I just got done doing 3 cleanses and I had to recuperate from one of them. Good God. Oh, Lord. I had to recuperate from one of them. So I'm revving up to do a couple of cleanses, and I will also be doing a group ritual, which is invoking the goddess. We're going to invoke the goddess on Sunday, probably in the wee hours of Saturday morning, but it'll still be Sunday. So we're going to be invoking the goddess in a couple of days. So you guys can contribute if you want to be a part of that ritual. A lot of people say, well, if we invoke the goddess, we're not going to have no man. And Jamila, you don't have no man. Look, you don't know my personal business. Folks don't need to be privileged to my personal business because they nosy. So I'm always good. Okay. In fact, invoking the goddess is what brings the men. Don't know man, don't, if you a spiritualist, any man that's worthwhile is not going to be interested in something that is lower, that is so low, that is at a lower level. And if you are at a lower level and you want to step up your game in your business or whatever it is that you're doing, then you guys know who you can reach and who you can contact, because my money spells work. The money spells work. The love spells work. All of my spells work. Okay. So you guys don't have to worry about that. I will see y'all later. Have a wonderful Friday. Be on the lookout for readings that are going to be going up a little bit later. I do have a couple of openings for today. I definitely have openings for tomorrow. And then also be on the lookout for that invocation of the goddess ritual that I am opening up to the public. We're going to be doing that on Saturday. Saturday, early Sunday. We're gonna need to do that because there's some idiots that plan on going and calling to vampire demon gods to and it'll be happening in the church near you on Sunday. So we're gonna need some protection from that. Okay. If y'all want to feel normal, if y'all want to feel blissed, because ain't no, if you love Jesus Christ left the church a long time ago. So there's no Jesus in the church. There's only the devil and demons. Hello? I'll see y'all later. Love and light.